Insert intro here.
Welcome to the Shazamcast.
Come on, Logan! Let's go find aliens!
Oh, burn, Leo, burn.
X-Men featuring Scott Pilgrim.
That's such a double title.
It's a fucking X-Men movie!
And you gotta butt that.
Shazamcast. Hello again, dear audience, and welcome to the Shazamcast.
I am Dan.
And my name is Leo.
I have knowledge of the books with the little pictures in them.
And I only read good books. I'm just kidding, you guys. This is a show where me and Dan talk about movies with superheroes and comic booky things. And today's episode, we are wrapping up the trifecta that is the original XMen Trilogy by talking about XMen 3, The Last Stand. Okay, so...
This movie,
we are not going to mention the Phoenix until I say so, because after that, I have some shit to get down on the table.
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't know. We have not discussed. We did a bit, a little behind the scenes. We may have tried to film this or record this at least 9 times.
My computer was a terrible piece of crap, so I got a new one.
We kind of knew a bit about what each other's opinions were, but we never got into the third one. So we're gonna.
All right. Quick. Let's get the quick things out of the way. I like Storm's new hair.
Okay. Yeah. I thought it was not. I mean, whatever. Halle Berry's dumb in the role anyway, so I don't.
Yeah, that's true.
Having spiky hair doesn't really make it any better for me.
I know. I just like her having long hair. I don't. Yeah.
Right.
The stupid new love triangle after they gave up kind of on Jean and Scott and Wolverine. The stupid new thing with Rogue and Bobby and Shadowcat.
So it's like, hey, we know, guys know you're sick of that old love triangle. Good news, we got a new one.
It's so dumb. My note is just, I didn't even say what it was. I just wrote down, and I knew I would know afterwards what I was talking about. I just wrote down, drama.
That's a fucking no.
Because, and the way, I know the exact moment I wrote that down, which was when Rogue looked out the window and saw Bobby skating around on the frozen fountain with Shadowcat. I was like, no, they are not going to make this a thing. I thought we had learned from the old thing. The love triangle is not interesting or good.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay, so yeah. What did you like anything? Because it sounds like you didn't.
I like Storm's new hair. That's something.
Did you not like this movie?
No. I'll get to the stuff I liked. I'll get to the stuff I liked. So, one more thing I was weird about. Their weird unnecessary swearing to get the PG-13 rating. There's this moment where, there's a fight scene going on with Shadowcat and Juggernaut, and, Shadowcat, pulls Juggernaut into the ground and then runs through the wall, and then he says, I can't for the love of me do the accent,
you
so I'm
know
not even
who
going
I
to...
am! I'm the Juggernaut!
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
Best line of the film, by the way.
No, it's a good, that made me laugh at first, and then I was like, and then there was a next line that made me reconsider it, which is that he bursts, he gets out of the ground, because he's the Juggernaut, bitch, and then he bursts through the wall, and she's right there.
By the way, any mention of the Juggernaut will be followed by bitch, so, just warning.
Yes, and so he burst through the wall.
Wait, I guess we should do a warning. We're gonna curse a lot, but we're already an hour and a half into this thing.
Screw that.
It's too late.
So he says. So he.
Okay.
He burst through the wall. Wait, damn it. We didn't recap. Okay, we'll recap. We will recap this movie.
The plot is you should have.
Wait, no, not yet. Let me finish the unnecessary swearing.
Okay,
Let me finish the goddamn
thought.
Okay, good. So he bursts through the wall, and he says, "I'm not a guy to play hide and seek with, or whatever." And then she's like, "Who's hiding, dickhead?" And then I was like, "They're just cursing to get the PG-13 rating, and it's really dumb." Because you can hear the awkwardness in her voice as she said that. It was so unnatural and so unnecessary. I was like, Why?
What's her name?
No, like, it's not that
But what's her
you
fucking
know
name?
from listening to an hour of the podcast that I don't care about people swearing, but why? Why?
only mention
In
this
that
now.
situation, why? Because they want PG-13.
Hold
Because PG makes them look like a children's film, and they don't respect that
pretty
because
sure-
they are X-Men The Last Stand.
I'm pretty sure the other ones were PG-13. I mean, you got Wolverine getting stabbed like 5 times.
Well, yeah, but he called Scott a dick, so...
Yeah, that's a fun running joke, just saying.
That was a funny line, actually, when he was like, wait, okay, I need to check that you're the real Wolverine and not Mystique. You're a dick. Okay, fair enough, yeah.
So, but what was I even saying?
We were talking about X-Men 3 The Last Stand, and we were going to recap the plot. The plot is the humans develop a cure using this kid whose power...
Leach. Oh,
wait, they did it again! They make things out of kids in this movie. They make things out of mutant kids in this trilogy.
I'm gonna quote you out of context so much.
Oh my god, there's a mutant kid whose power is to suck other other mutants' powers and not make them not work, and turn them into people while they're next to him. And then they create a cure using him in order to make all the mutants into X-Men, make all the mutants into humans if they want.
Like a subtext of molesting children is bad in these series. I think we are.
Are we?
I think so. I mean,
it might just be you.
Well, you're the one noticing that twice in a row they made. They
made bad substances out of children. So yeah, I guess.
Okay.
And the substances were explicitly bad for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what things did you like?
I liked that we finally got to have we kind of got to have Colossus and Shadowcat do things, because they are cool. Even though they didn't do much. I liked the subtle reference to the Sentinels in that first... oh my god. The whole thing was about how I don't know anything about comic books, and yet
you know what Sentinels are.
I mean, there are certain things that people just kind of know. Like, I don't know anything about Superman, and yet I know who the Green Goblin is. And...
Fuck off! You come in here being like, I don't know shit. And then you're like, but I do know shit. And then you're like, but I also don't know shit. Fuck off, man. This isn't about the fucking birds and the bees. This is a fucking X-Men movie. I'm sorry. Yeah,
that was entertaining. I actually, I'm gonna have the words. This is a fucking X-Men movie. Quoted in the remix song. For sure. If you hear me saying that in the podcast and I don't end up cutting those phrases out, it's because I'm gonna make a remix, or a friend of ours is gonna make a remix song to use as our intro. I am gonna cut this out.
Shout out to insert friend's name here for making that awesome remix you just heard.
Anyway,
and by just heard, I mean an hour and a half ago. If you're listening.
I'm gonna cut this whole thing out. But,
no, don't you dare.
I'm going to. Anyway, point is, let's see.
What good things?
Oh, right. Yeah, things I liked also included I liked I'm having so much trouble. I'm having so much trouble remembering positive things about this movie, and it's not because there aren't any, because there are some. The Juggernaut was funny, and I loved the completion of Mystique's story.
Okay, I fucking hate what they did with her. And
that they killed her, or not killed her, but they turned her into a human. Mm-hmm. I hated that too, but at the same time, I felt like it was kind of right. It was only right, because kind of the whole thing is that the entire story comes full circle, and Magneto, spoiler alert, gets stabbed with the cure at the end also. And we'll get into the ending. We will talk about the ending.
Leo's just like... Alright. So do you have anything good left?
Well, I'll talk about the ending later, so besides that, I can't think of that much, but you talk about your good things, and then I'll talk about the Phoenix. I will take a moment to talk about the Phoenix, and I'm talking very calmly right now because I'm gonna prepare myself.
Okay.
Essentially, it's not even because it's not an X-Men thing, and you would expect that this movie ends in the rage of, or these episodes end in the rage of Dan, who cares a lot about X-Men and the X-Men franchise and other comic book things.
Like the X-Men,
and
X-Men's probably like my favorite franchise, just because it's really nostalgic to me, and I grew up with it. But yeah, go on.
Right. So, that. But instead, we're going to talk about my problems, and my problems are not with, what they did to X-Men, but rather what they did to movies and how movies should not be made. We'll get into that.
Okay, let me say my good things before Leo has a fucking aneurysm.
Do go on.
So, good things. My best part, easily for me, was Kelsey Grammer as Beast. And
oh, dude, he was great. I loved Beast.
One thing about this franchise is that the casting is either fucking spot on or Halle Berry.
Or
and with
Curry.
Kelsey Grammer, he was fucking awesome. Like one of my biggest things, he did not get enough screen time because he was a badass, and he
was really good. Yeah,
fucking makeup looked so good, and I'm so
it was amazing.
Happy that they just got this perfect look and this perfect actor for one of my favorite X-Men. So
I did love it so much.
Yeah,
Beast was amazing.
Beast was awesome. And there's the one moment where he's just like, he's there in the middle of the giant fight scene. It's just like, oh, you got the point, and he's just like ripping people apart. But
yeah, he starts on a tangent, and then
there's actually this really awesome deleted scene where he quotes Shakespeare, and I'm like, dude, the fuck. Just keep that in.
It's great because Beast is I don't know that much about Beast, but I know he's really smart, and I really like
First Class and Future Past. But yeah,
So I liked it. I thought he was really good. Keep going. Sorry.
Let's see. Basically all the things that were good about the last ones.
Yeah, they carry through.
Some parts. Like, I feel... I'll get into, like, why the deaths later. But, all the actors who were good here. They fucked up Juggernaut royally, because in the comic books, he's not a mutant. He's just a guy who gets magic powers and is actually Professor X's half-brother. And,
wow.
Yeah, one of his whole things is that he, is always trying to kill Professor X.
That's crazy. I can't believe they didn't.
Yeah, and he totally felt shoehorned. But
wow, yeah, no, he did. Actually, yeah, I felt kind of like
it's like, oh, we need more bad guys, and they need to be somewhat popular. And
it was like something people are gonna like the Juggernaut.
Yeah,
let's do Juggernaut.
Here's the thing,
go on.
I totally don't mind that they changed how he got his powers, because I think it's kind of stupid how he got his powers, honestly.
Yeah, okay.
But I think that he should have... I don't know. I feel like if they were going to have him, they should have done something with the relationship between him and Professor X.
Yeah, I guess.
I thought the actor was really... He just had a lot of fun in the part, and was just like... And, he had his line. And a lot of people hate that, because it's just, stupid, but it's funny, and...
What, I'm the Juggernaut bitch?
Yeah,
yeah, it was good. It was good.
I just realized that when I said every time you mention the Juggernaut, it's going to immediately followed by bitch. The entire time I talked about Juggernaut, I did not say bitch.
I never said it.
Yeah. But the actor was funny, and I think for whatever he was entertaining.
Yeah.
And what else? I'm trying to think if there's anything good. Ben Foster as Angel had literally nothing to do in the movie, but he was cool. The first scene with him in the bathroom was fucking hard to watch.
That was so painful to watch.
But that was really well done.
It was so good. It was so good. Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah, it was... This
is positive things that I didn't remember about the movie. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I thank you for reminding me of them.
Dude, that's the point. But, I like that, dude. That's the point. I want that on a t-shirt. Yeah. Hey, fandom, get us that t-shirt. Anyways.
What fandom?
Oh, dude, anyway. we have the entire cast of X-Men watching our podcast.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Sorry.
Anyway.
Hey, Hugh Jackman, I love your abs. Sorry. Anyway.
I'm looking, I mean, I guess that's about it.
Can I talk about the Phoenix now? Can I talk about the Phoenix now?
You can talk about the Phoenix, but I feel like I should maybe give a little backstory on who the Phoenix is. Okay, I'll do that after.
No, you should not. You should do it after.
Okay, I'm just gonna kind of back off while Leo does his thing.
This is my note.
Okay.
This is what I wrote down as I was watching the movie, and it gradually grew. It gradually grew forward. Okay, so we'll start with this. I respect that the X-Men movies were kind of made for people who already kind of knew X-Men to begin with. But the X-Men movies also changed a lot of the lore and brought in a lot of new stuff and explained everything for newcomers so that people who didn't know a bunch of stuff about X-Men wouldn't be completely lost. So, with that in mind, considering there is, I assume, at least some large percentage of the audience that did not know anything about X-Men prior to watching the movies, this is my note, and then I will explain it. Bringing Jean back was bullshit. Did they not think they needed to preface the whole Phoenix thing at all? And now I will explain. Let me move away from the mic so I do not bleed your ears when I talk about this.
I'm scared, guys.
You cannot put something like that in the movies and not feel like you need to preface it at all. You cannot make that become a thing in the third movie if you have not in any way even begun to suggest that there is any logic behind that fact. If Jean is a class 5 mutant or whatever the fuck bullshit they came up with in the last movie to shoehorn her giant telekinesis powers in everywhere when before she was weak and frail, you need to preface that with at least like a dramatic look from Xavier in the first 2 movies or some other convoluted bullshit that wasn't him just being like, oh, she was the Phoenix and I didn't bring this up before or even think about it for the past couple of years because I'm crazy.
Dude, you do realize they did that like throughout X2?
Excuse me?
Yes!
What?
That whole part when they're at the museum and literally Scott is just expositioning the shit out of Jean. She's like, Jean, you know, a few months ago, it was hard for you to move a chair around the room. But now, when you have a nightmare, the whole room shakes. And then, at the end, when she's lifting the ship up, you see the red in her eyes, and it's like, oh, fuck, what's this? And...
oh, that's what that bullshit was. Well, I'm relieved that this franchise has some redeeming factors because I was prepared to shoot whoever thought that bringing the Phoenix thing in was a good idea in the third movie, but okay, it's fine. I didn't remember that whole bedroom shaking thing that they were talking about, or the red in her eyes during the ship. I probably should have remembered that, and I did not notice it because I guess I just wasn't looking out for it. I respect their decision to put that in the movie.
You clearly don't.
I don't, but I do enough to... God, my throat hurts. I'm not a yeller. I don't yell often. Yeah, no, okay. Actually, you know what? That's fair. I guess I just wasn't looking for it, and that's why I didn't notice, and I'm sorry for yelling and becoming agitated. It's fine.
Don't apologize to me, dude. That was fucking hysterical.
It's not that big of a problem, honestly. It's fine. It's all cool. The Phoenix, sure, that's fine.
Okay.
It's not total bullshit because...
You okay, dude?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm
You
good.
wanna take like a deep breath?
Yeah, no, I'll be good. They killed Xavier in this movie.
Oh God. Okay.
They killed him. The
Not-
Phoenix killed him.
Now it's my turn to be pissed because
Yeah,
fucking
okay.
deaths in this movie were bullshit.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so in the X-Men movies, there's this kind of sense of, okay, this is it. We gotta, go all, roll all the punches or whatever they say. And
Yeah.
they do this in a way by they just killing off all the, like, they kill off Kelly in the first. They kill off Brian Cox, Stryker in the second.
Yeah.
And in the third, they kill fucking Scott, Jean, and Professor X.
And Mystique, kind of.
And Mystique, yeah.
They don't kill her,
basically
but they kill her enough.
And then they take away her, Mystique, Magneto, and Rogue's powers. And it just feels like they're just like, fuck it, we're not gonna go do. It's like I like that they're trying to not sequel bait in a sense, because I hate it when movies sequel bait.
What is that?
Sequel baiting is like,
I don't know what that word means.
Sequel bait is like when
sequel bait. I thought you said sequel bait, and I was confused. Sequel bait makes a lot of sense. That's a term I'm familiar with. Sure.
So yeah, I hate it when movies sequel bait and they're just like, ooh, what's this unresolved plot thread, and what's this, interesting concept? Well, guess we'll find out next time. It's just like,
yeah. Well, let's make a
like-
spin-off. It's a TV show about Mystique, and she teaches 3 kids how to be kittens with swords
what the
and...
fuck are you talking about? I think Leo...
I'm sorry, I have strange feelings about the Puss in Boots spin-offs of Shrek.
Because that's relevant.
I know, I just have strange unresolved issues with that stuff.
It's fine.
But,
okay.
Anyway.
So...
Yeah.
I hate when movies, but I also think that you can't just kill everyone off in this, we gotta go big or go home kind of sensibility. And I think it was just really poor decision making on a lot of the filmmakers' parts, and this really kind of got me down. Well, not down, but just like I felt like there was so much more they could do if they didn't just kill them off. And but then the part that really fucking pisses me off.
Yes.
Is that at the end, they basically undo half of it. They undo the part where Magneto loses his powers.
Yes, but I love it.
Okay, really? I don't know.
I don't know what it means or how it's possible, but that shot killed me. Okay, so for people who didn't see it, it's...
No, you're not explaining shit for people who didn't see it.
I'll explain it because I'm nice. It's
says the person who just yelled about like 5. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Go on.
Right, so it's a shot, all this stuff is over and it's all done and it's like everything's wrapping up and and then it starts panning through like just a park and everything is peaceful and I think there's a Stan Lee cameo in there. Oh no, the Stan Lee cameo was earlier with the hose.
No, Stan Lee cameos in I think 2 of the X-Men films. This one.
Yeah, he doesn't do the first one.
No, he doesn't do the first one.
He doesn't do the first one. He does the second one. He does the second one and the third one.
No, he does the first one and the second one. The first one, it's at the beach when Senator Kelly is walking on the ocean.
Oh, that's right.
It's at the very beginning when Jean
with
is
the hose. Yeah, I feel like he does it in the second one then too because
he doesn't. He barely does it in any of the X-Men movies. It's weird.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember if he does one in Origins, and I'm like 90% sure he doesn't do one in Wolverine.
Interesting.
And he doesn't do one in either of the First Class Future Pasts.
Right.
I think it's this whole copyright dispute, which I'm not fucking getting into right now.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know what any of that means, but we'll talk about it on our own time. But the point is, it's a shot of it's panning across a park where people are sitting around playing chess, and then you get to Ian McKellen, Magneto, who earlier was stabbed in the shoulder with the cure, and you could see that the transformation went through him, and he lost his metal controlling powers. And I know Magneto is a villain, but I love him so much.
Yeah.
I love him so goddamn much. He is one of the most lovable villains of all time I've ever seen in a movie.
So, he got a shot there.
And so, it's him, and he's at the table, and there's a chess, and you see him raise his hand to one of the chess pieces, and it's not even long. It's not like a pause or anything. There's like a couple seconds of that shot, but so they don't build it up at all. It's not like suspense or something, but and yet the suspense is there in like the second that he's raising his hand. The magic of filmmaking in just that one moment, the end of the third film, there's this like 1,000 thoughts go through my head, and the suspense builds to an insane amount like they couldn't have done if they were building it up for the whole movie. It's 1 second, or like 2 or 3, where he raises his hand, and his hand is next to the piece, and then it moves just a tiny bit by itself.
And the credit move is like, Dah!
Yes! And I was like, because I didn't know, I had seen the movie a long, long, long time ago when I was a kid, and I don't remember that much of it, but the one thing I absolutely did not remember was what exactly happened. But I saw the hand raising, and I was like, what's gonna happen? Is it gonna move? Is he gonna move it? Is it gonna be like a thing where he moves the pawn and it's like, recognition of his fate? Or is it like, what's gonna happen? And then it moves just a tiny bit, and then the credits are like, ta-da-da, ta-da-da, and I was
That's Back to the Future. Back to the Future Past, I guess you could say.
All right.
Go
ahead.
I thought, hearing you say it like that, I actually thought it was done better than I'm giving it, because it was just a very well done scene. But I don't like that they're just kind of like, it really doesn't give weight to any of the actions in the movie. It's like now Mystique, Rogue, and Magneto are all back to the status quo, and it's like, dude.
Yeah, I guess.
But then did you see this post credit scene?
Yeah. What was that?
That was Professor X coming back in a different body, reincarnating himself.
Was that
was that part at the beginning when he
when he was like the man with pancreatic cancer, or not pancreatic, but
you get what I'm saying.
But yeah, he was talking to kids in the class about like, what if they transfer the consciousness of another person into the body of a man who had no consciousness. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the movie, at the end credit scene, it's like it's just a hospital bed, and you don't actually see the person. You just see like this woman like walking up to the thing, and she like starts operating the thing, and then you hear him say, I forget the woman's name, but it's like Mariah or something. Moria. And you hear Patrick Stewart's voice, and she looks down, and it's like you can't. And she's like, she has this super surprised look on her face, and she's like, I think she says Charles, but I'm not sure.
I think so, but yeah.
And then end of the movie, and that's it. And I was like, what?
Yeah,
and that was it. And I was like, I wasn't sure that was Patrick Stewart, because it could have just been like a British voice that kind of sounded like him. But I was like, no, that was Patrick Stewart. What, Charles? What was that? What? And
that I don't know. I like the fact that they're doing it, but I think it's bad within the context of the film, because it kind of renders a lot of the weight kind of just useless.
Yeah, because they spent so much time moping and doping over Xavier's death, which I understand, because he, is awesome.
There's actually this one line I absolutely fucking love, where it's Pyro talking to Magneto, and it's like, I would have killed the Professor myself. And Magneto just has this fucking look on his face. He's like, Charles Xavier did more for mutant kind than you will ever know. Him dying is my greatest regret. And I'm just like, yeah. Because
it was amazing.
That was a fucking... The thing is, with this movie, the things that they do right, they do really, really right.
They do so right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I have a few other issues. Obviously, there's the Phoenix, which Leo has done
talked about extensively. Yeah.
But I want to just give a bit of comic backstory on who she is, and I also want to kind of give my thoughts on that, because it's a very drastic change, which I totally get.
All right.
But
okay.
I don't necessarily agree with.
All right. And you know what? You keep doing that. I'll be right back. Okay. Because I need to fetch something, but I will be able to keep hearing you, so you just keep talking. It's all good.
Okay. So, while Leo does that. So in the comic books, what was this? In the comics, how the whole thing worked was Jean Grey was with the X-Men. This was during the Chris Claremont run. And they were in a mission in space with, I don't think it was the Starjammers.
They went to space?
Dude, the X-Men go to space constantly.
Oh, that's what that whole send the X-Men to the moon forever thing was.
I actually don't think they've been to the moon. But yeah, like, other than fighting for equality, the X-Men's, like, number one pastime is going into space.
Why? Do they have a spaceship?
Dude, the Blackbird, that's a spaceship, dude. In the comics.
The X-Jet is a spaceship?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, in the comical books, they go in there in a space, and Jean Grey. It's a lot like what happens in X2, except in space at the end, where Jean is just lifting them up in space. But what happens is they all crash down, and Jean is with them. But and they all crash down, and it looks like Jean is dead, basically.
Weird.
But what happens is, and they're all in the middle of the ocean, and Jean just rises out of the ocean, being like, "Don't fear! I am the Phoenix, and I shall save you all!" And she rises up, but basically, what the Phoenix is in the comics is it's an alien presence that takes over Jean's body, because she's basically the most powerful telepath on Earth.
What?
Yeah. No, or telekinetic on Earth, I'm sorry.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So the Phoenix in the comics is an alien that inhabits Jean's body and basically gives her unlimited power, but also makes her fucking insane. I'm probably getting this wrong, and I'll hear about it from people bitching at me about it. But
sure you will.
Yeah.
Sure you will, Dan.
So that's the gist of it. And this was always going to be tricky, because this was like before Marvel Studios like got into their thing of being like, let's have a movie where aliens invade. Let's have a movie with Viking gods and
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was before the whole superhero genre was more bold as a genre.
Totally.
Yeah. I honestly don't hate what they did. Like, in
the movie?
Yeah. Was it completely inaccurate? Yes. Was it just totally unfaithful? Of course. But like, Definitely. How the fuck would you do this?
Yeah, I guess you can't just be like, it would be even stupider if in the third movie they were like, hey, let's go to space, and then they went to space for like 5 minutes and then they fell down and Jean was like, I am the Phoenix.
Yeah.
And she rose out of the ocean, which by the way she did again.
Yeah. And like the thing is, other than the fact that it was an alien, that it wasn't an alien in the movie, they got it like they did it pretty well. Like,
okay.
I mean, they didn't like they got
right.
kind of
no,
who
I
the
get
Phoenix
it.
was. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Phoenix expert, so I want to put that out there. Like,
totally. Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
I have one other note, and that's that is that Iceman is an asshole. Like,
Bobby, yeah.
Like, throughout the entire series, he's an asshole. I'm just, like,
How so? I thought he was a kind of a nice guy, actually.
Well, mainly in the third one, he's just, like, he fucking abandons Rogue for Shadowcat.
Hey, Rogue leaves and becomes bitchy and moany.
Because Bobby abandoned her in the third one.
Yeah, but that's because they had to do the drama.
Yeah,
which is how I would say it always.
Yeah, I'm saying it's stupid. I didn't like it.
I guess, yeah, that's true. Okay, fair enough.
So, yeah, I didn't...
If you're looking at it in the aspect of the drama is part of the film, which I basically like to think of movies as there's the movie and then there's all the crap. And if you think about the drama as part of the movie and you accept that the drama is part of it, then yes, Bobby is a dick. That's correct.
Yeah, like, he does that, and then he's, what else? I'm trying to think of what else he does that's kind of dickish. Mainly that. I mean, you don't need more of an excuse.
I guess.
Like, you can say Scott's oh, I need to talk about him. You can say Scott's a dick all you want, but he didn't do anything particularly dickish.
No, I guess not. Actually, he did not do much. I don't think he's a dick. I just think he's incredibly bland throughout the entire movies, like all of them.
That's about right.
He was there when they needed another X-Men.
Yeah.
X-Man to be there, and it couldn't be Storm, kind of.
This movie is basically Wolverine and guest starring the X-Men.
It's Wolverine. It's Wolverine, Xavier, Magneto, and the rest of it is kind of like whenever the plot is convenient.
Yeah,
we'll do the other ones. And what happened to? I'm trying to remember what happened to Sabretooth because I can't remember. I feel like did he fuck up royally and get killed by Magneto? Because I feel like that's what I remember happening.
I don't think he got killed by Magneto. I think he just I don't know. Again, they kill they fucking kill off everybody, and that's that's like something I really hate about this initial franchise. That once they kill them off, it's like shit. Now I have to go bottom of the barrel, get the fucking Morlocks. The Morlocks.
The Morlocks.
Those were the mutants with the tattoos.
Oh wait, who? Oh, those people. Yeah.
They got a big fucking yes because they did wrong in this. Yeah, they were.
Really? We are. I feel us running out of juice. Do you want to
No. Okay. Let me. I'll finish this up.
Wrap it up. Yeah.
I have this note, and then I have to talk about this fucking Scott, and then
fine.
My final thoughts. Okay. So, the Morlocks were fucked in this film. In the comics, they're much more. They're the mutants who are like really physically disfigured and have like fucking horns and scales.
Wow.
They're like Nightcrawler in a lot of ways.
Huh.
But they're kind of like if Magneto, if Magneto's philosophy was with like really fucked up X-Men, because they can't really do that much because they're like so fucked up. If they walk around anywhere, they're just gonna be like, oh shit, and get arrested or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, I felt like the Morlocks could have been done better, or just not done here because they really were not needed.
I guess so. Okay.
They needed mutants.
Okay.
And like they totally fucked up Calypso and.
I don't know who any of those people are, so I have no comments.
Right, last thing, fucking Scott. Okay. Basically, the last note, as I said earlier, just, dude.
Scott. Yeah, Scott. I don't know.
You're just fucking like, ugh. Oh man, I don't want to do that. Jean's dead, dude. Ugh,
oh my god.
Fuck him.
The fact, I literally knew, like, when they killed Jean in the second movie, I was like, you know, or actually no, I guess it was when the third movie started. It was, Scott was all depressed, and then I was like, wait a minute, they're gonna kill him. I know they're gonna kill him because without Jean, his character is completely pointless. Now that this was before I knew they were bringing Jean back, I was like, without Jean existing, there's literally no point to Scott. His entire thing was Jean, and now she's gone, and there's no point in having him in the movies if they can just replace him with another better X-Man.
Which is basically Beast in this.
I guess, yeah, he was... Oh, God. Now just imagine if they had Cyclops be, like, interesting and good, and they had Beast in the whole thing. Now imagine that.
And also Nightcrawler being an X-Men. Final notes. I feel like this is just kind of throughout the whole X-Men movies.
Yes.
I wish that... first of all, I wish there were more X-Men in the X-Men movies, because, like, Beast was an X-Man, but, like, I wish Nightcrawler was there, was an actual X-Man. He was supposed to appear in this movie, but he was only supposed to be a cameo. And I'm like, dude,
he was supposed to be in X3 X-Men United, and then he just wasn't at all.
X3 X-Men United?
Oh, god damn it. I'm sorry. These names are so dumb that I can't handle it. Anyway.
But yeah. Yeah, he was supposed to be in it, but he was only supposed to have a cameo. But the actor was like, had a bad history with the director, and it took him like 3 hours to get into makeup. And he's like, dude, I'm not going to work with this director I hate, put up with 3 hours of makeup for a fucking cameo.
That's fair, and I respect Alan Cumming for that, especially because I hated this movie enough.
Did you really? Did you hate this?
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I just hated it enough.
Okay, so how would you rate this film? Because you...
Okay, knowing what I know now about the Phoenix, and having the knowledge that I now have about everything, I give this at least a 5.5, because I respect what they were going for, and I know how hard it is to make things that are good, and I understand that they did not have they had a lot at their disposal. They had a huge,
the era wasn't ready, in a sense.
The era was not ready, and they just hadn't set up enough for what they were going for. And I understand that, and that's fine. And that's, so 5.5, maybe a 6, if you like Phoenix things. Never mind. Alright. That's my views on X3, The Last Stand.
So, I'm not going to point out you mispronounced the title.
No, I know, yeah, the titles are...
My overall thoughts... It's okay. Yeah, they fucked a lot of characters up.
Oh, yes.
But that's a big running theme of this series. So I'm not too angry, and I thought that the characters they did fuck up, some of them anyways, were entertaining enough to not be noticeable.
Fair enough.
The characters they got really right. Like,
yeah.
For me...
I apologize for that sound. Sorry, go on.
For me, Kelsey Grammer's Beast was enough for me to save the movie, and if he was in more of it, I would probably give this a higher score. And and again, everything that was good in the other X-Men movies was great here.
Oh yeah,
so,
Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Hugh Jackman—they're all fantastic.
Shout out to those guys.
Those they're always good. They were just always good. There's nothing bad to say about any of the three of them in these movies. Personally, except for Wolverine being a little bit annoying with the whole Jean thing, but that was just because the Jean thing was stupid, not because Hugh Jackman. That was not Hugh Jackman's fault. Hugh Jackman did really well on serving that really stupid part of the script.
So, my final rating for this film is a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay, fair enough. And do you want to do just like a thing for the whole... Okay. So, rating for the whole trilogy on your part?
I would say 6. Well, that's hard actually. You do first. Let me think.
I will go with it's like a 6.5 because it's an average of I liked a lot of things and I hated certain things, but there were not nearly as many things that I hated. In fact, there were like 2 or 3 things that I hated passionately enough to not give it a 10. And then the rest of it was pretty alright. The things they do spot on, they do really, really spot on in this trilogy, and I look forward to seeing like more stuff that they do in the same way, hopefully. Over to you.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to give it a 7 out of 10 just because I watched this a lot when I was younger, and there's definitely nostalgia value to me. These are fair. These are my favorite superheroes. This is my favorite superhero team, and they do get a lot wrong. They get so much wrong. But they also get a lot right. And at the end, they get the characters. And your movie can be bad on a lot of levels, but if you get the characters right, then you at least know how to competently write and competently adapt things. So, yes.
All right. Well, that's a heartwarming note to end on. And,
yes.
On that note,
thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening to our first sort of compilation of the X-Men Trilogy, and join us next time when we talk about the Wolverine movies, of which there are 2.
These I hate. Spoiler alert.
Okay, alright, well, let's look forward to that, because I haven't seen them yet, at all. And in the meantime, make sure to tune in for the next episode, for a little special Shazam cast surprise. No. Yeah. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Shazam Cast. If you'd like to take a minute to leave us a review on iTunes, we'd really appreciate it.
It only takes a minute or two, and it really helps us get the word out there about this show of ours. If you're listening to this episode on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to hear all our latest comic material as soon as it comes out. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/ShazamCast, and on WordPress, shazamcast.wordpress.com. So make sure you take a look at those sometime. Thanks. We love you. Some of you. The cool ones.